As the third week of Operation Epic Fury dawns, the strategic patience of the United States has reached its limit. On March 16, 2026, the Pentagon confirmed the largest single-day activation of fifth-generation stealth assets in military history. Over 30 F-35A and F-35C Lightning II fighters have been surged into the Iranian theater, marking what military analysts are calling the closing argument of the air campaign. While the B-2 Spirits and B-1B Lancers have spent the last fortnight hammering the missile cities in the Alborz Mountains, this new wave of F-35s represents a shift toward the total liquidation of Iran's internal security and nuclear infrastructure. From the decks of the USS Abraham Lincoln to the hardened hangars of RAF Lakenheath and regional bases in Jordan, the lightning has struck, and for the regime in Tehran, the end is no longer a possibility. It is an active operation. The stealth scalpel, blinding the dragon. The F-35 is not just a bomber. It is a flying sensor hub that has fundamentally broken the back of the Iranian Integrated Air Defense System, IDS. In the early hours of March 16th, F-35 as from the 48th Fighter Wing and the 158th Fighter Wing of the Vermont Air National Guard executed a coordinated, blinding mission. Utilizing their Advanced Electronic Warfare (EW) suites, these aircraft successfully suppressed the remaining nodes of Iran's radar network, allowing follow-on strike packages to enter the red zones over Tehran and Isfahan with near-total impunity. The primary targets for this massive F-35 surge have been the nuclear industrial complex. Precision-guided munitions have reportedly neutralized key facilities at Natanz and Fordow. Unlike previous bunker-buster missions, these F-35 strikes are utilizing surgical internal carriage weapons designed to collapse entry tunnels and ventilation shafts, effectively sealing the facilities forever. The command head, Mojtaba Khamenei's bunkers. With Supreme Leader Ali Khamenei confirmed dead, the F-35s have been tasked with hunting the head. Advanced sensor fusion has allowed pilots to track and engage the secure communications vehicles and underground command trailers currently shielding the IRGC leadership. The Su-35 interceptors, in a series of high-altitude dogfights, F-35CS from the USS Abraham Lincoln have reportedly achieved air-to-air kills against several of Iran's Russian-made Su-35s. The technical gap between the Russian flankers and the American Lightning has been laid bare. The Iranian pilots are being locked onto and engaged before they even realize an enemy is in the sector. Operation Epic Fury, the 5,000 target milestone. General Dan Kane, chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, announced that, as of today, U.S. and Israeli forces have successfully struck over 5,000 targets across Iran. This is not just a display of power. It is the systematic dismantling of a nation's ability to project military force. According to Secretary of War Pete Hegseth, the objective is to ensure that the world's leading state sponsor of terrorism can never again build a ballistic missile or a nuclear warhead. The results are staggering. 90% reduction in missile capability. The production lines for the Shahab and Fateh missiles have been leveled. The Navy is gone. The Iranian Navy has been declared combat ineffective after the sinking of more than 50 vessels, including the drone carrier ship Makran and the destroyer Dina. Proxy paralysis. With the Iranian center of gravity under constant fire, Hezbollah and the Houthi rebels have seen their funding and supply lines dry up overnight, leaving them isolated and ineffective on the regional sidelines. Tehran in shock, the invisible war. For the residents of Tehran, the war has taken on a terrifying, ghost-like quality. Because the F-35s operate in the stealth spectrum, there is often no warning before a building. A Ministry of Intelligence hub or an IRGC barracks simply ceases to exist. There is no drone of engines, no visual on the radar, just the sudden, crushing impact of a GPS-guided 2,000-pound JDM. The Iranian regime's attempts to use human shields by placing mobile launchers near schools and hospitals are being countered by the F-35's high-resolution electro-optical targeting system, YOTES, which allows pilots to identify and abort strikes if civilian presence is too high. However, the Pentagon's investigation into the first-day school blast serves as a grim reminder that in a war of this scale, the human cost is inevitable. The shock in Tehran is the realization that no amount of human shielding or mountain granite can hide them from the F-35's gaze. The steel bridge and the global economy. As the F-35s secure the skies, the U.S. Navy is preparing to reopen the global economy's jugular. With the Strait of Hormuz effectively closed due to the kill zone established by IRGC mines and drones, oil prices have spiked to historic highs. To counter this, President Trump has ordered the forced convoy mission. The F-35s are the primary escort for these convoys. Flying low observable patrols, they can identify Iranian swarm boats long before they get within range of a commercial tanker. Secretary Hegseth has made it clear, the only thing stopping the flow of oil is Iran, and we are removing that obstacle piece by piece. The 31st Marine Expeditionary Unit, currently approaching the Gulf in V-22 Ospreys, will soon begin the island-clearing phase, landing on Karg and Abu Musa to physically dismantle the missile sites that have held the world's energy hostage. The endgame, a failed succession. The end for Iran isn't just about the hardware. It's about the collapse of the ideology. The axis of resistance was built on the premise of American decline and Iranian strategic patience. Operation Epic Fury has proved both premises wrong. By launching a massive, multi-domain offensive that combines the Ghosts, B-2s, the Lightning, F-35s, and the Steel, carrier strike groups, the U.S. has shown that its reach is both absolute and unrelenting. The newly ascended Mojtaba Khamenei finds himself presiding over a burning landscape. His defense industrial base is nearing complete destruction, his navy is on the seafloor, and his elite air force is being picked out of the sky by a force they cannot see. The activation of the F-35 fleet is the final punctuation mark on a 3-week sentence. As the smoke settles over the ruins of the IRGC headquarters in Tehran, the world is witnessing a remaking of the region on a scale not seen in 20 years. The silhouette of the F-35 Lightning II is the last thing the current regime will see before the maximum pressure doctrine reaches its final, crushing conclusion. The strategic reality is now undeniable. With American steel choking the Gulf and ghosts haunting the skies, the regime's foundation has crumbled, leaving Tehran to face a final, inevitable reckoning. The skies over Tehran are no longer Iranian. They belong to the ghosts of the U.S. Air Force. On the ground, the sound of explosions has been replaced by the steady roar of Abrams tanks rolling off transport ramps. The IRGC's grip has failed, and its deepest bunkers offer no protection from the invisible war. As the C-17s continue their nonstop rotation, it is clear that the steel bridge has become the new backbone of the region, signaling the final fall of the old guard.